Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can also find our podcast on thenewscasters.com. Appreciate you listening to us and watching us any chance you get. If you don't mind, share this. You can find us on all the social media sites as well. And remember, truth matters. So we're talking about conflict communication skills. Okay, the resolutions, because it's out there. It doesn't matter what it is. You can go to the grocery store. You find the bananas are on sale and somebody else picks up the banana before you can reach and grab it. There's a conflict already. Let the person have the bananas. I've learned sometimes just to do a release, let things go. It's not worth it. It's not worth your health. It's just not worth it at all. The people that I've noticed who are the saddest in life are the ones that always had to be right about everything. Let them be right. Whatever. That's just the way it goes. So we've been talking about those skills, and we're going to continue on because there's some great information. And this stuff is to help me as much as it is you. I'm telling you, I'm really getting it. You can find all of this information right here on helpguide.org. That's helpguide.org. So we talked about Conflict 101. Conflict is more than just a disagreement. This meeting of the mind is all started with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve had conflict in the Garden of Eden. Can you imagine that? They had everything. It was paradise. And they even had disagreements. So there you go. We talked about the causes of conflicts and how to respond. Best thing to do, you got to listen, okay? Sometimes people get all agitated because they think you're not listening. And this is if you can get the person to meet with you. I've had an indication where someone just wouldn't meet with me. So, there was nothing I could do about it. If you're not going to meet with somebody, well, then it's not going to happen. Best thing to do is just brush it off and just, pray for that person is the only thing you can do. Okay, so we talked about your ability, and we also talked about the number one skill, and this is quick stress release. And so I'm gonna cover this one, and then we're going to go into the stress release skill number 2. But this one, being able to manage and relieve stress in the moment, is key to staying balanced, focused, and in control no matter what challenges you face. That person may be jumping up and down and screaming and carrying on. You can still manage it. I have. It was I did this situation. It was in a crowded room, and so this person comes up to me and is just yelling, and I didn't yell back, and I just kind of stepped back and let him walk by. Then her husband comes in front of me. He's being very nice, being very, very. Imagine what he goes through when at home. And so he walked on by. Then she yelled because he didn't yell back. So the best thing to do, now did I want to just go somewhere and melt? Yeah, I really did. But it was a situation, I was working and I had to remain calm. And so I did. And you can do that too. And I'll just tell you, people who yell at you during conflict, they want you to yell back. So if you yell back, what you're going to do is give them power, and it's going to give them more influence, and you don't want to do that because they're just going to continue doing that. Best thing to do, again, remain calm and let them think they won. That's just the best thing you can do. Now, psychologist Connie Lillis used a driving analogy to describe the 3 most common ways people respond once they're overwhelmed by distress. Okay, 1, foot on the gas. And this when you're driving, you just get your foot on the gas. An angry or agitated stress response. You're heated, you're keyed up, you overlay your emotional, and you're unable to sit still. Now, foot on the brake. A withdrawn or depressed stress response. You shut down, you space out, and you show very little energy or emotion. Then foot on the gas and the brake. Ooh, okay, now that's a tense and frozen stress response. You freeze under pressure and you can't do anything. You actually look paralyzed, but under the surface, you're extremely agitated. Now, we talked about how this stress affects a conflict resolution. Accurately, you can read another person's body language. That's extremely important. Okay, hear what someone is really saying if you can get it out of them. Be aware of your own feelings. Don't leave yourself out of the equation. Be in touch with your own deep-rooted needs. Communicate your needs clearly if you possibly can. Now, is stress a problem for you? Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, you may be so used to feeling stressed, you're not even aware you're stressed. Stress may pose a problem in your life if you identify with the following. Okay, and again, this is skill 1. We're still talking about skill 1. Okay, you may be so used that you often feel tense or you're tight somewhere in your body. You're not aware of movement in your chest or stomach when you breathe. And you also, conflict absorbs your time and your attention. It's all you can think about is this stress. Okay, so here's how you can learn to manage stress in the moment. One of the most reliable ways is your 5 senses. Okay, it's sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch, or maybe through even a movement. I'll tell you what can calm you down is a fragrance that reminds you of something very pleasant. I like to smell, say, cookie dough fragrances, like candles, cookie dough fragrance, because it reminds me I'm back with my grandmothers again. They're cooking in the kitchen, and so it just kind of takes me back to a good, relaxing time. Or I like lavender. I like to get lavender and put that in with citrus. Anything that smells like grass, it makes me feel like mowed grass is a fragrance, candle fragrance. It helps me feel like I'm outside and I'm working on God's earth. I have a garden. That's a good calming fragrance for me. But other things may help you. It could be sight. You know, looking out at the pond actually helps me as well. So sight, there you go. So anything, and your tea, oh, hot cocoa, you know, that takes you pack as well. So anything that's soothing. My daughter-in-law said, I like mashed potatoes. And I said, why do you like mashed potatoes? She said, mashed potatoes, it just takes me back. It's just a good comfort food. She likes that. Chicken noodle soup is good for any time of the year. It doesn't have to be cold. It can put you in a comfort zone. Whatever puts you in a comfort zone, that's what you need to do. Okay? Because I want to keep you around. You are extremely important. I want to keep you around. Okay, now core skill number 2, emotional awareness. Now, emotional awareness is the key to understanding yourself and others. It's not just about you. You got to understand other folks. Now, if you don't know how or why you feel a certain way, you won't be able to communicate effectively or resolve disagreements. Now, although knowing your own feelings may sound simple, many people ignore or try to sedate strong emotions like anger, sadness, and fear. Your ability to handle conflict, however, depends on being connected to these feelings. Don't ignore them. They're there. If you're afraid of strong emotions, or if you insist on finding solutions that are strictly rational, your ability to face and resolve differences will be limited. Okay, so why emotional awareness is a key factor in resolving conflict. So emotional awareness, the consciousness of your moment-to-moment emotional experiences, and the ability to manage all of your feelings appropriately is the basis of a communication process that can resolve conflict. If sitting there watching the news all the time, 24/7, is causing you conflict, stop. Take it in small doses. We all have to know what's going on in the world, but that is one big thing. Y'all send me messages all the time about, I'm watching the news and this is happening. I'm watching the news and that's happening. It's going to happen whether you're watching the news or not. Do we need to know what's going on? Yes. But you don't have to watch it 24/7. I wish they had never started the 24/7 news channels. Okay, now, emotional awareness helps you to understand what's really troubling other people. What's the core? What are they really mad at? Understand yourself, including what's really troubling you. Stay motivated until the conflict is resolved. Communicate clearly and effectively. This means taking a breath between sentences. Don't yell it out and don't where people can't even understand you. Also, you can interest and influence others. Now, assessing your level of emotional awareness. So there's a quiz we're going to take, and it helps you to assess your level of emotional awareness. So answer the following questions with almost never, occasionally, often, very often, or almost always, there are no wrong or right responses, only the opportunity to become better acquainted with your emotional responses. Now, what kind of relationship do you have with your emotions? And again, we're going to do almost never, occasionally, often, very often, or almost always. Do you experience feelings that flow, encountering one emotion after another as your experiences change from moment to moment? Now I'll let you answer that on your own. Here's the second one. Are your emotions accompanied by physical sensations that you're experiencing in places like your stomach or your chest? I will say I used to, but once you kind of get a grip on things and you understand things are the way they are, you can't change how a person responds. You can't change how they look at the world. Once you figure that out, it's going to be a lot easier on you. Okay, here's number 3. Do you experience distinct feelings and emotions such as anger, sadness, fear, and joy, which are evident in different facial expressions? I'm just telling you, some people, you know what they're thinking. They don't have to say a word. You need to be able to read the people. And there are several great YouTube videos on that, on how, and lots of fantastic books out there. I prefer the book because I can get my own meaning out of it. And I don't even look at the emotion of the person who is giving this idea. So you need to really understand. You need to understand that there are different types of people out there. Not everybody's like me and you. And some people are emotional, some are not. Some people can hold their anger, some can't. Those are the ones I have the hardest time to deal with. Okay, now here's the next one. Can you experience intense feelings that are strong enough to capture both your own attention and that of others? Here's the last one. Do you pay attention to your emotions? Do they factor into your decision making? Okay, so if any of these experiences are unfamiliar, your emotions may be tuned down or even off. In either case, you may need help developing your emotional awareness. You can do this by using Health Guide's free emotional intelligence toolkit. And you can find this is a fantastic website. You can find this on helpguide.org. There's a link right there where you can click on it. And several links throughout this whole concept that we're talking about right now. Okay, let's go into a commercial break and we shall return in just a minute. Hang in there.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
My Towels solved a problem that we've all had with towels. You go into the stores and they feel lotiony and soft, but then you get them home and they wind dry you. That's why I made My Towels. They actually work, they're soft, and they absorb. And now I'm excited to announce 2 brand new lines of My Towels. What makes them the best towels ever is they're now made with 100% long staple Shapir cotton. This is a combed ring-spun cotton that makes My Towels even softer and more absorbent than ever. And now you get a 6-piece set for an amazing introductory sale price as low as $29.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get My Towels for only $29.98. Or you can get my designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% now on all My Towels. They actually work. What a concept. This offer won't last long, so please order now.
MyPillow.com. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com. It's always so good to be with you every day. Thank you for the emails, by the way. You can send all your responses to Donna at donnasedge.com. I read them all, and I love hearing from you, so appreciate you doing that as well. If you'd like to be part of the birthday club or the anniversary club or date night club, you can also send a message about that as well. Donna at donnasedge.com. We're talking about conflict resolution, so we had a part 1. This is part 2 of the conflict resolutions. I'm learning a lot myself, and you can find this website, lots of links to click on. You like to take a little test, you want to make sure you got yourself intact in case you run up into another problem, another issue, go to helpguide.org, helpguide.org. Now, you can use this in everything, whether it's family, business, your job. If you're a server at a restaurant, I know you're doing the job of 3 people right now. You got to really get a grip, because sometimes you don't even have time to think. So when someone is going to be upset simply because you didn't bring their tea on time or whatever drink they're drinking, just be in tune with it. And what I try to always do is resolve a problem before it even starts. So if I see in my line of business, there's going to be a situation, something's going to happen, I know it is. I just think it's going to happen. If you'll just handle it before they come to you, half the work is over, okay? Nobody's going to be near as upset if you just say, you know what, I think I see the situation coming up. I think we're going to have a conflict here, so let's go ahead and take care of it right now. If you will just do that, that's going to help save your business. I promise you, don't be afraid of that. As a matter of fact, any kind of an issue that comes up within your business, that could be good news for you. It'll give you the opportunity to be the hero and take care of it. It's happened I don't know how many times. Back to the cell phone business. Okay, so I remember there was a problem and they were having some kind of a computer issue. We had a name change. We'd been bought out 3 times. Started out as Cellular One, and then it went to GTE, then Verizon, and then all. So I went through a lot of buyouts with this company. Every single time we had a buyout, there was always an issue with billing. So I couldn't tell anybody. I knew the buyout was happening. So when I was allowed to say, hey, it's same people, we're somebody else is buying it out, and we're just going to have a different name. Then by the second time that happened, I said, and I was going to tell you what happened with the first buyout. We had billing issues. So when you get your bill, don't scream, don't carry on, don't get upset. Just call me, I will handle it. Do you know how much easier it was to manage? Now, if I had to sit and listen to everybody fussing at me because I knew something and I didn't tell them, it would have taken 4 times as long to handle it. So, sure, every one of the customers called and said, you were right. Boy, the billing's messed up big time. So, see, I was able to handle it because I got it. I headed off the pass. I was a quarterback. I headed it off the pass. That saved a lot of anger issues. It saved a lot of people leaving the company. Not that I'm so great. It's just that I was doing things that other people didn't want to do. Other folks that I worked with said, oh, let them handle it. And I was like, no way am I going to let them handle it. No way, because I remember what it was like the other time. And I don't want my customers upset. I want them to stay with me. And they did, all because I did that little simple Simon thing. I'm just telling you, sometimes it's the simple things you let go by that causes you to lose business. I mean, it just is. So anyway, it still works. It's old-fashioned, but it still works. Okay, so I think we've got time for nonverbal communication and conflict resolution. These are the toughest ones to detect. So when people are in the middle of a conflict, the words they use rarely convey the issues, the heart of the problem. So by paying close attention to the other person's nonverbal signals or body language, such as their facial expressions, their posture, their gestures, and the tone of their voice, you can better understand what that person is really saying, okay? This will allow you to respond in a way that builds trust and gets to the root of the problem. Now, your ability to accurately read other people depends on your own emotional awareness. The more aware you are of your own emotions, the easier it will be for you to pick up on the wordless clues that reveal what others are feeling. Think about what you're transmitting to others during conflict, and if you say what you both say matches your body language. If you say, I'm fine, but then us women do this to our husbands all the time. Are you okay, honey? Mm-hmm. Do you do that? Okay, your husband's looking at you right now saying, you're not fine. You're clenching your mouth. Okay, you're not fine. Okay, if you say, I'm fine, but you clench your teeth and then you look away, then your body is clearly signaling that you're anything but fine. So a calm tone of voice, a reassuring touch, or an interested facial expression can go a long way toward relaxing a tense exchange. And I'll tell you something else that helps. When we understand that we're not perfect too, I mean, everybody gets in the moment. I'm not perfect. But the longer you live on earth and the longer you own a business, work customer service, I promise you, you'll get a speed test on this. It's called dealing with people one-on-one, because you'll get the experience. And it'll help when some of these things happen. Now, more tips for managing and resolving conflict. Let's talk about these. And again, wonderful website, helpguide.org, helpguide.org. Listen to what is felt as well as what's said. Now, when you really listen, that's another thing. You got to listen. You connect more deeply to your own needs and emotions and to those of other people. So listening also strengthens, informs, and makes it easier for others to hear you when it's your turn to speak. Make conflict resolution the priority rather than winning or being right. At the end of the day, who cares who's right, right? That's the way it is. Maintaining and strengthening the relationship rather than winning the argument should always be your first priority. Be respectful of the other person and their viewpoint. I mean, for goodness sakes, I'm an Auburn fan. I'm living with an Alabama fan. Takes a lot of work on both our parts, I'm telling you. Focus on the present. If you're holding on to grudges based on past conflict, your ability to see the reality of the current situation will be impaired. Rather than looking into the past and assigning blame, focus on what you can do here and now to resolve that problem. Like I said earlier, pick your battles. It's just not worth it. It's not. So conflicts can be draining. It can be also important to consider whether the issue is really worth your time and energy. Maybe you don't want to surrender a parking space if you've been circling around for 15 minutes. But if there are dozens of empty spots, arguing over a single space just isn't worth it. And let me tell you something I like to do. A lot of people want to park at the very front of the store. I'd rather be at the back of the store. And let me tell you why. If you're at the front, you have a harder time getting out. You may have less to walk, but you're going to be sitting there waiting on other people to leave. Whereas if you park in the back of the parking lot, yeah, you got to walk a little bit, but walk's good for you, right? It's good exercise, unless it's cold outside like it is today. You can leave faster. You're going to get out of the parking lot a lot faster, and you're not going to have to worry about running over people with their carts. You know, people don't pay attention anymore. People have their carts, and they're right there. You're going to have to wait on them. I'd rather just walk it and be done with it. So sometimes it's just the way it is. Pick your battles. Be willing to forgive. Now, resolving conflict is impossible if you're unwilling or unable to forgive others. And the resolution lies in releasing the urge to punish, which can only serve to deplete and drain your life. You're going to be a sad person. Know when to let something go. Just let it go. If you can't come to an agreement, agree to disagree. It takes two people to keep an argument going. So if a conflict is going nowhere, you can choose to disengage and move on. And you know what you're doing? You're giving yourself the power. If you decide to stay in it and you see it's just not going to be resolved, nobody's going to win. So just let it go and let that person dwell in their own pity. That's all you can do. Using humor, this is what Phil and I do. Using humor in conflict resolution. So you can avoid any confrontations and resolve agreements and disagreements by communicating in a humorous way. It does help. So let's go and explain this, and then we'll call it a day. Humor can help you say things that might otherwise be difficult to express without offending someone. However, it's important that you laugh with the other person and not at them. Okay, nobody likes to be laughed at. With, sure, but not at. Okay, however, it's important that you laugh with the other person and not with them or not at them. So when humor and play are used to reduce tension and anger, reframe problems, and put the situation into perspective. So what this means is the conflict can actually become an opportunity for greater connection and intimacy. So that's the way it goes. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. I hope this helps. And again, this website is fabulous. I love it. Helpguide.org. Helpguide.org. See you next time around. Let me know what you think about the show.